Good morning. So, have any of you carved a pumpkin this fall? Or at least seen some pumpkins out and about that are carved in the community? Yeah, by show of hands? Good. Some of us are seeing some lovely pumpkins carved this morning by members of the Stevens family. And mine is not carved as nicely as theirs is. But I carved a pumpkin this morning to use as a tool as we think about what do we need. When I thought about this question, it too, like Julie and Kate has already mentioned, it's hard to think about what we need. What do you need? So I expanded the question a little bit. I took some creative liberties, and I thought about what do you need to live into who God created you to be. I think a jack-o'-lantern might help us think about this a little bit more. So open your mind, think with me as we move through this, and if you have not carved a pumpkin yet this season, maybe this will inspire you to do so in the coming days. So what's the first step when you carve a pumpkin? What do we do first? We take the top off, right? Well, I think when we think about what do you need to live into who God created you to be, an open mind. Open to new thoughts, open to new perspectives, open to new ideas. It requires opening up our minds, first and foremost. All right, what is the next step when you begin to carve a pumpkin? What might be next? Gotta empty it out. What's inside of here? Some, kind of icky seeds. I know you might not be able to see these from far away, but there are so many seeds, some of those guts from inside the pumpkin. Well, what do you need to live into who God created you to be? Seeds. Seeds of relationships that you live into in your lives. Seeds of change when you go out and you share God's love with one another. We need seeds. I'm going to put those back in there because I don't really have other places to put them right now. And once the pumpkin is empty, what do you move to next? Maybe the eyes. Cut some triangles for the eyes, so I will poke those out for us right now. When we think about what we need when we live into who God created us to be, we need eyes that can see the world more clearly, see the beauty and appreciate it for what it is, but also see the places in the world where there is need. Places and people in the world where there is some need for love and for justice and for peace. We need eyes. And then we need a nose too, right? I'm glad this is working, that it's the pieces are actually popping out. You always have these ideas, and you're like, is it actually going to work in real time? Right now, we're going okay. The mouth is going to be the real challenge. But first, when we think about what do we need to live into who God created us to be, we need a nose to breathe deep of the fresh air and all of the creation that God has put all around us. We need a nose that can sniff out maybe some good trouble that we're being invited to participate in out in the world. All right, here's the big challenge. What's kind of the last part of the carving, at least, is the mouth, right? Yes. And when we think about what do we need to live into who God created us to be, we use our mouths to share words of connection, words of hope, words of, like Julie said, affirmation of who we are as children of God, who our neighbors are as children of God. We use our mouth as a tool of compassion and kindness. We need our mouth. And then lastly, not everybody does this, but more often than not, there is a light that is put into a pumpkin once it is carved. So I have battery-operated lights here. And I don't know if you can see the lights. I hope you can. I promise they're there. And there are lights in our pumpkins to the left here, too. What do we need to live into who God created us to be? We need a light that we shine for all to see. It stirs a sense of hope within us that then we go forth to share with others. What do we need to be who God created us to be? An open mind, open eyes, a nose that breathes deep, a mouth that speaks words of kindness, and a light that lasts forever, spreading God's love to all. Happy Halloween.